piece of candy, please. 1 piece of candy, please.
Long ago, in a certain town, there was a small candy shop. When night fell, people vanished from the streets, and the shopkeeper alone kept a quiet watch over his store. Then, on a certain winter night, the door, which should have been closed, opened without a sound. Standing there was a lone woman. Her face was as white as snow, her hair black and damp. And then, in her arms, she held an old Japanese doll. The doll was wrapped in cloth, and only half of its face was turned toward him. The woman spoke in a raspy, parched voice.
1 piece of candy, please.
The shopkeeper felt a strange chill, but he silently handed her the candy. The woman placed a coin down, and while still holding the doll, she bowed deeply and vanished into the darkness. The next night, and the night after that, the woman appeared at the exact same hour, always holding the doll.
1 piece of candy, please.
The shopkeeper noticed something. The woman's hands were as cold as ice. And then the doll's direction changed slightly every time. Some nights it looked toward the shop. Some nights it looked toward the floor. And on one particular night, he felt certain it had looked back at him. One night, the shopkeeper suddenly realized something. When the woman bowed her head, the doll she held was the only one that remained staring at him. The shopkeeper decided to follow her. The woman walked without a sound, leaving the edge of town and heading behind a temple. She stopped before a single, new grave. As if clutching the doll to her chest, she vanished directly into the grave. The next morning, the shopkeeper told the temple priest everything. The priest's face turned pale.
That grave belongs to a woman who died a few days ago.
They decided to dig up the grave immediately, clearing away the soil and opening the casket. There lay the woman's corpse. And, within her arms, there was a small infant. It was still alive. Crying weakly, it clung to its mother's breast. Upon its mouth, the sweet traces of candy remained. The shopkeeper was struck speechless. That woman, even after death, to keep her child alive, she had been returning here every single night. Even in death, the mother would not let go of her child. After that, the woman never appeared in the shop again. The infant was rescued and eventually grew up without incident. However, on one snowy night, the shopkeeper suddenly remembered. The very first night, that doll the woman had been holding. That day, for certain, the doll's face had not been looking this way. If so, then why? Why, at that moment, did he feel that he was being watched? That night, the shop door, which no one should have been at, opened silently. A faint, sweet scent drifted in with the cold wind. And then, though there were no footsteps, the floorboards creaked, ever so slightly.
1 piece of candy, please.
There stood the doll from that time, all alone, its face, just like the night they first met.
1 piece of candy, please.
Silently, it was looking right at him. The shopkeeper said nothing. He wrapped a single piece of candy and gently placed it before the doll. Insight into the legend. The legend of the candy bag. Ghost is one of Japan's most famous maternal ghost stories, passed down through generations in regions such as Kyoto, Ishikawa, and Kagawa. Unlike typical ghosts driven by grudges or resentment, she returns to this world for one reason alone: to sustain the life of her child. The image of her even in death, tethered to this world by maternal instinct, clutching cold coins to buy candy, has moved the hearts of Japanese people since ancient times. This tale is more than just a terrifying experience. It stands as a symbol of human karma and compassion, proving that a love powerful enough to transcend death can exist even amidst a cruel fate. Is she a holy mother who appeared to save her child, or a tragic spirit fallen into a monstrous form due to her obsession? The truth remains hidden within the faint sound of a door being knocked upon at a candy shop on a rainy night. The moral: a mother's love transcends even the absolute wall of death. The strength to protect another, even at the cost of one's own self, is the most sacred power in this world. Words left unsaid and promises left unfulfilled. The stronger these regrets become, the more they may manifest before our eyes in strange and twisted forms. Just as a sinister doll lurked in the shadow of a gentle mother, behind what you believe to be the truth, an unimaginable different face may be hidden. Embrace the unknowable. Voiceover script. This world is filled with mysterious things that logic cannot explain. Do not deny them. Instead, accept them in silence. That is the only way to truly face the world on the other side. Lesson 1. Unconditional love. Lesson 2. Regret never fades. Lesson 3. Truth hides in the shadows. Lesson 4. Acceptance of the unknown.
One piece of candy, please. Piece of candy, please. One piece of candy, please.